Hi there, it's Connie Haxby, licensed clinical social worker, and today I want to discuss communication, healthy communication using I language, but then also letting go of the expectation of response from the other party. So with I language, what we're doing is we're taking responsibility for our feelings about a situation. So rather than attacking or judging or going to someone with a sort of attitude that's going to make that person feel attacked and shut down, what we're doing is we're taking responsibility for the way that we feel about a situation. So for instance, with I language, when we want to approach someone about a situation, we say, you know what, I feel hurt when I have cleaned the house all weekend and you come home and throw your belongings everywhere. What I would like for you to do is to help me maintain the house after I have cleaned all day. And that would be something that would, maybe evoke some open communication about that situation. And what we're really doing there, again, is taking responsibility for our feelings, but also conveying it in such a way that we are not attacking this other person. So for instance, I language versus, you're lazy, you don't help me out, you don't respect me. That's a lot of you, and finger pointing. And so the person's probably not going to respond very well to that. And the chances that they're going to help you out in the future are probably not as good as they could be if we convey it in a more sort of ownership kind of way and how this situation makes us feel. So number one is you want to make sure that you're using I language when you speak about what it is that you're wanting from this person and how it affects you. So you want to try that. The other thing is letting go of expectation. And this is a really difficult one for folks because we, I think, are so involved in thinking about all of the things that we would do. This is how I would act in this situation, and this is how I would respond to this. And so we expect that other people would too. For instance, let's say I've had a loss of something in my life. Let's say I lost a job. And I reach out to a friend and I say, hey, I'm having a hard time, I lost my job, and, give me a call back. I'd really like to get together and kind of like go over this. And let's say this person has something going on in their life and they haven't called you back for whatever reason. And then you start to get upset. You start to get hurt, and you start to question the friendship. And one of the things that you're doing is you are putting your expectation onto this other person. It makes sense to you that you would reach out to a friend and you would call back a friend who was going through a situation such as this. But, putting that expectation onto other people just leads to letdowns. And so when that happens, what you have to do is you need to either meet that person where they are by saying, you know what, maybe they've got something going on in their life, maybe discussing it later on, again with the I language, right? So, I felt really hurt when you didn't call me back after I reached out when I lost my job. That was very hurtful to me because I really needed a friend. And in the future, I really, need that from you. Listen to their explanation. Whatever their explanation is, you kind of then have to decide if this is something that you want to pursue as far as making it into an issue, or if you want to really let it go. So a couple of different things are going on there. Number one is you are taking responsibility for how you felt, the I language, I felt hurt. And another thing is you're letting go of the expectation of the other person. Yes, we would like for people to respond in a certain way, but just because they don't doesn't mean that we have the right to necessarily get upset at that person because of that. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to surround yourself with people in your life that don't come through for you, that always kind of drop the ball, that aren't supportive of you. That's a whole other issue. If this is something that is a pattern, then you have to decide if this is someone that you want in your life. So that's a whole other issue. If this is something that doesn't happen very often, or this is, you know, a one-time situation where, you know, maybe this person just isn't very good at this kind of thing, you know, trying to decide if this is something that you need to let go of. Because different people in our life serve different purposes. So, you know, maybe I've got the friend who is the great friend that I go out with, you know, when I'm having a rough time, and they really listen to me. They don't try to fix the problem. They just let me vent. You know, maybe I've got that kind of friend. But then another kind of friend is just the friend that I, you know, maybe this is the friend that I go to a movie with every once in a while. And, you know, we catch up once a month and pick up where we left off. But maybe they're not someone who's very emotionally attached. Or maybe there's someone who is just like not very emotionally available. And so putting the expectation of that on that person is really unfair, because we really need to kind of look at, you know, the limitations of folks and what they can and can't offer, and be really honest with ourselves about that. You know, not everybody can fit all of our needs, and that's okay. So going back to recap what we just went over, so using the I language, you know, I feel upset, I feel hurt, I feel disrespected when this happens. What I need from you in the future is, rather than you, they're going to feel attacked. And then also, again, just letting go of that expectation. You know, I have a lot of my folks in therapy, you know, write letters to people that they might have an issue with. And I always say, you know, if you're going to write a letter or you're going to reach out to this person, you need to do it because you have something to convey. Don't go into it thinking that, well, I expect to get this certain response from this person, because when you don't, you're going to be let down. It's really about saying what you need to say and then allowing that person to respond the way that they're going to respond, because they have that right to respond however they're going to respond. Doesn't mean that we like it. Doesn't mean that we have to accept it. But the beauty in that is that we convey, they respond, and then we get to decide what we do with that. So it's a very nice, assertive, healthy way of communicating. So try that the next time that you want to get some communication conveyed to someone in your life. Use your I language, let go of that expectation, and then just see what happens. You know, you might be really surprised by how well it helps the relationships in your life. So try that, and hopefully that will go well. And if it doesn't, just tweak it a little bit. And if you still have issues with this person in your life, then maybe you need to rethink the relationship or the friendship. And that's okay too, because we really want to surround ourselves with people in our life who are uplifting and who are supportive of us. And it is perfectly okay to maybe, you know, have those people who aren't kind of be a little bit more in the background. That's okay too. You know, just meet them where they are, and don't expect too much from people who just aren't able to give it to you for whatever reason. And it's not a bad thing. It's just who they are. So with that, have a great week, and I will be posting another video next week. Take care.